2 months in and we already have fruit? Where you at, buddy? Little Oski's out here. Little Oz, where you at? There you are. What you doing? What you doing? Are you playing? Can you say welcome to the Citystead? Go back this way. Come here. Say welcome back to the Citystead. Not yet. Soon enough. Soon enough. So it's been a full month since we did our last update of the micro garden. So a month ago we gave you a last update. We had some stuff starting to grow. We were trellising tomatoes. 2 months before that is when we planted it. So we are 2 months into this experiment. Everything from seed except for the tomatoes, because I just had a couple starts that I needed to get in the ground. I'm gonna bring you over here. I'm gonna show you what's going on, and I got some work to do because some of the growth is getting out of control and I gotta get it where it needs to be. So I'm gonna go grab a couple things I need and we'll be back here at the micro garden to check out how our high intensity planting of a 4 foot by 4 foot bed is going. Despite our groundhog's best efforts to destroy our beans, as you can see, they have actually grown, and a couple of them are pretty tall, almost to the top of this trellis. And there is a lot of little blooms on it. Oops. Guess I should bring you in closer. Here, let's see them. There you go. It's hard to do this. It's very shadowy right now because of where the sun's at too, which doesn't help any. But there's a lot of flowers on these. There's a few different vines that made it up past where the groundhog was nibbling, which was down at the bottom. So we're gonna get some beans. That's awesome. In the opening clip you saw there were a couple tomatoes. Happy about that. And there's even some spaghetti squash. See that guy right there? Looking real nice. So we are gonna get stuff out of this garden. I have noticed though that there's a couple things that didn't do very well. I've been devising a plan of what I'm gonna do with that space because I want to try to use it still. I still think I have enough time to grow something there. And the other thing I have to do is stake up a couple of these squash plants. They got really big, kind of out of control, and they're falling down a little bit, not up against the trellis. And there's another spaghetti squash. It's a really nice size one too. But they're taking over where my peppers are, and they're kind of crowding the okra and the cucumbers over here. Now, all my okra's been munched on by those darn groundhogs. I have not been able to catch them. I see them out here once in a while. I chase them away, but they've done a number to all of my okra. We did harvest a little bit of okra the other day, but they're still getting a lot of it, and I can't do anything about them. I keep trying to catch them, but I have no luck yet. We also had another thing that I planted in here, which was Malabar spinach. And we just gave this a try the other day and it was really good. So I'm hoping that this will mature more. And there's another one over here. So I'm really hoping that that matures and grows up this, because it's also a climbing vine. So I'm gonna put it up the trellis also. That was the plan. As long as it gets big enough. It kind of bushes at the bottom before it starts sending up shoots to climb. So probably got a little more ways to go before that starts shooting them out. Hopefully the end of September or so, you know, we'll have enough of that to harvest for a salad or some kind of cooked green, something. I still got hopes that I can make some sort of meal out of everything that this produces. Probably looking toward the end of the month. And yeah, I'm happy and excited about that. Oh, here comes the little guy. What's up, buddy? You coming to help? So the first task is to get this squash climbing the trellis, which it is currently not, and it's smothering out a few other things, like my basil is down in there, so I'm gonna have to be careful about how I do it. So what I'm going to use is a little bit of that Velcro, vegetable Velcro stuff. You can buy pretty much anywhere. I like it, it's pretty good. Suits the purpose that I need it for at least, so can't go wrong there. We gotta use our hori hori. If you're in the garden without a hori hori, are you ever really in the garden? There we go. Okay, so now you can see we lifted this up, kind of got it Velcroed. It's going to start climbing up the way it should. All these are climbing vines. They just gotta be trained a little bit on what they're doing. So once they start climbing, we'll clear out more of this bottom space. I'll trim some of these leaves that are coming in, but you can see my basil's in here, and it's actually looking good. Now that it's got a little more sun, it'll be able to thrive a little bit better. Pull that weed right there. There's our Swiss chard. It's still kind of little. We got some of this freckled lettuce. It's not too bad. Looks like it's been gnawed on a little bit. And then the okra is now free to breathe. And then the cucumbers right here. There's a little bit of vines. They've been nibbled on a little bit too. Yep, the groundhogs are very treacherous. They've nibbled on all these cucumbers, but I'm gonna stake them and I'm gonna put a little climbing trellis here to try and get them climbing so they can be out of the reach of those groundhogs and we can actually get something out of them. Oh, look it! An Oski just popped up. Boop! Hey, and it's full grown, ready to harvest! Get over here. You can't stand in the garden beds. That's too close. Here, you want your Velcro? You want your Velcro? You got a Velcro and a stake. Okay. Go on, little gardener. So I don't know if you noticed or not, but right where he was standing, this is big, open, empty area. So nothing survived there. I tried growing eggplant and it didn't make it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transform that into something different. I'm thinking something quick that has a good turnaround, like a radish. So I got some radish seeds, I gotta go grab them. I'm gonna plant radish in there. But before we plant the radishes, we have to trellis up the cucumbers. You wanna trellis up cucumbers? You wanna trellis up cucumbers? So this is just cheap plastic trellis material that I had before I started using cattle panels. I got quite a few of these and they're actually kind of handy to have around. You can design your own tomato cages with them. You buy bulk of these little clips. They're just plastic little poles. But I really like them. They work pretty good. And for like this, I'm just trellising off half of this back wall here. And I'm gonna use it as my cucumber trellis if they grow, and I'll also be good for the squash plant that's kind of on the edge here. It'll give it more room to go this way while the other squashes come across this cattle panel. So this will be nice, and it can work as a little bit of defense against those groundhogs because it gives them a little bit less access. And now that I got the plants lifted up off the ground, they have to put a lot more effort in, so hopefully they can survive a little bit. Surprisingly, these cucumbers actually have a couple little small blooms on them. I see about 6 of them. So there's still a chance that these will grow from here, especially now that we changed it a little bit, and we'll actually get a few cucumbers out of this, which would be pretty nice because we haven't had any cucumbers yet. We started to get a little bit of other stuff, no cucumbers though. So now I'm gonna go grab some radish seeds and we're gonna plant out that little open space there because I really want to use as much of that as I can for something. So I'm thinking a quick turnaround with the radishes would be nice to go with some of those other things. So let's go do that and see what little Oz is up to now, because I hear a whole lot of clanging and banging. This is what happens when you leave him be for a minute. He's at that stage where he just wants to climb every single thing there is. You climbed right up here, didn't you? What if you fall? What if you fall? It's dangerous. You got a bowl of rocks? Did you put all those rocks in there? Did you do it? Oh, I can have that one? That's a very pretty rock. Look at it. Right, be careful with them. Oh, dropped a couple. You got a rock collection. Good job. A rock collection. Oh, I don't want those. I'm good. I don't need rocks. Put them back in the bowl. That's a good place. It's a rock bowl. Put them back in the rock bowl. Rock bowl. Rock bowl. Rock bowl. Okay. Alright, I found just a ticket to plant out here. We got a whole pack of this watermelon radish. And then I'm going to put a little more spinach out here. See if we can't get a little bit of this Bloomsdale spinach to grow for us. Over here in this little space. Now, you can help me plant? We gotta get planting. Alright guys, that is the update on the high intensity micro garden. It's producing fruit. This is probably the best thing I have going in my garden right now. So I'm very happy with the results of this experiment. I planted everything very close. No real spacing was taken into mind. I planted everything as tight as I could. Some things didn't make it, some things did. We're going to use some of that empty space from the things that didn't to try to grow something else. And I'm going to water this thing, get it going, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Also, the next one, if you guys have been watching, we've vlogged all week. The next one is kind of an announcement for something that's going to be going on the 29th of September. So if you have the day free and you live close by Michigan, Ohio, that area, keep a lookout for tomorrow's vlog, because we're going to tell you about something that maybe you'll want to go to. And yeah, it could be fun. So we'll see you guys in the next one.